It's Friday, August 23rd, 2024, and we're in the studio doing a session. Hi, guys.
How's it going, man?
I got nothing else to say other than that.
Intro.
Thank you.
It's good to be back. We missed, I don't know, a week and a half or so.
What the heck?
I had to be out of town.
It's your fault, Osborne.
And yeah,
Sorry.
blame Osborne for it, but no, it feels good to be back sitting on this couch behind this microphone and looking forward to this session here.
Hell yeah. Ryan, look at Ryan's stoked too. He's here.
I'm stoked. I'm here. I'm present and accounted for.
Sick.
I'm stoked I'm here.
Good deal. Well, this is the Minnesota State Fair show. We got the State Fair in progress. We're at day 2.
Yes.
Did you go to day 2?
I didn't make it out there today. I was out there yesterday. I'll be out there Monday. I'll be out there on the 31st, and then there's like another 3 days I gotta get in there as well. So
Yeah, because we're going next Saturday.
yeah, we're going next Saturday, and then there'll be some days after work. I'll just go down there and chill. I don't know. I just can never get enough of it. I could probably go every day. In fact, when I retire, I will just go every single day.
I can't believe we haven't done that yet.
What's
so
that?
You've gone every day, but
Well, I know it's hard when you got a
Other
job
things
and
to do, yeah.
other obligations, but
I don't think people from other parts of the country who may be viewing this understand how big of a deal the Minnesota State
it's
Fair
massive.
is here.
It's awesome.
It draws over 100,000 people for 10 straight days.
I think it was over 200,000 yesterday. I think they broke a record.
138.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
it felt
and that is a
it felt like
record.
200,000.
Yeah, but that is a record, 138.
138 record opening day
for the opening day. But there's other single days that have been over 250,000.
Yeah, I've been to those days too. It's just you can't walk without bumping into someone. Or
It's weird to me. It's always been weird how it's such a big deal. But the older I get, I'm more receptive to the idea that, all right, if everyone's going to go, I guess we'll go.
It's awesome.
It seems very Minnesotan. Like I feel like a bad Minnesotan because I go every couple years, but it seems to be the thing you got to do. You're going Saturday?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Saturday, and I'm likely gonna go tomorrow too.
I'm not going tomorrow, but I mean, I might be talked into it in a week.
Well,
yeah, with Dave and I. Yeah,
Well,
we're gonna
absolutely.
go right when they open because it's Saturday. So we want
What
to get
time
there.
is that?
7 a.m. they open.
Well,
Out
that's
of
right,
the
7.
question.
Okay,
What do
so
you
first
mean,
off,
dude?
this is the
That's
guy
the
that
right answer.
This is the guy that wants to go to bed at like 8 o'clock at night, but
Yes.
can't get up then in the morning.
What the heck?
Correct.
I can I can go to bed at like 2 and get up at like 7.
Well, yeah, David,
Well-
you're an exception.
Well,
Okay, that's
You guys should just arm
you're
wrestle.
just
Yeah, no,
built
I'm not doing
different.
that either. I need to take better care of
not-
myself. Apparently.
built for sleeping.
No,
arm wrestling-
I think you're to come into your defense. I think that's the appropriate
Burn-
reaction. It's like, I don't need to be there at 8 a.m.
Well, we said 7.
Oh,
yeah. It opens at 7, but all the stuff doesn't open till 9.
Oh,
A lot of stuff doesn't open till
Oh,
9, but
yeah.
I don't know. I just like getting down there and just having like that early morning vibe. It's just
Yeah,
cool.
on a nice summer day, summer eve,
Yeah,
summer morning,
summer
actually,
morning,
not
like-
eve.
what is the draw? What does the Minnesota State Fair mean to an enthusiast?
Yeah.
to me.
Dave, go ahead, you start that.
Yeah.
Good question.
To me, it's like food. Obviously, they got food everywhere.
Food is. You're right. Food is
Food is-
not really available outside of the state fair.
Well,
so
I mean-
I understand the draw when you say it like
Well,
that.
that most of that food isn't. I mean, it's in let's say in the past like 5-6 years,
Like, you
you're
get a
starting
lot-
to be able to find things like cheese curds outside the Minnesota State Fair, but I don't know. You still can't find Fountain RC Cola anywhere except the State Fair.
There's hundreds of things that you can get at the fair that you can't get outside of the
Right.
state fair times.
I'm also a big fan of those fresh French fries. Now you can get fries anywhere, but these just I don't know. They hit different. They're good. And but other than that, I don't know. I like people watching. I like I don't know. I just can't seem to get enough of it. I'll go down there, I'll walk through buildings, check out whatever they got going on, And then it's like, oh, well, let's go check out this other thing. I'll walk halfway across the fair, and I don't know, and I'll look at that stuff. It's just so much to do, so much to look at, so much to be involved with. I just have a blast.
Nice. I do like how popular it is. Like for a long time, I didn't like just the sea of people when I would go, and I haven't been in a long time, but the older I get now, the more I understand it is kind of part of culture around here.
Yeah.
To your point, right?
You going this year then?
Yeah, I am. I'm
Awesome.
going on Sunday.
Awesome.
I'm actually going to be at the office booth.
The office booth
Yeah.
Oh wow.
in the education building.
No.
Is that going to be in the education building?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
I know exactly where you're going to be then.
The hottest day, I guess, and the building doesn't have air conditioning, so
Certainly
Oh,
not.
you'll have fun though. That building.
You have some huge fan blowing hot air at you.
Yeah, they usually have those fans going in that room.
and from my understanding, there isn't any animal smells in that building.
No, they don't allow animals in there.
Though, not no. I mean,
Yeah,
there'll be some
right.
animals.
Human animals.
Yeah, there'll be
Right.
a lot of them hurting in and out of there.
How many
That's what-
firearm incidents have they had this year? That's what's scary. I remember
0.
a couple years back there was
Yeah.
like shootings.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
have to go through weapon screening to get in.
Yeah, you have to go through a metal
Good.
Yeah,
detector
but
and
you
stuff
can
like
sneak
that.
into
but,
the fair though.
but I think what happened last year, someone threw it over the fence to someone
Yeah.
else, and
Gross.
yeah, so there was
Is last year the year that I'm thinking?
that
of?
was that was last year. That
What the
was
fuck. I didn't look at that. I
Yeah.
should have.
they
There was a
ended up
mass shooting last
Not a
year.
No, it
mass
wasn't a mass
shooting,
shooting,
but,
it was
like,
Thugs shooting thugs.
yeah, some just thug BS, and one of them had a gun, shot at the other group, and then you get that big much people, and you had chaos, and they closed the fair early that day, like I don't know, half hour early or something like that.
So speaking of the foods there, that's one of the reasons why I really like it. But I'd say like, okay, so Bern, you're talking about how it's like a sea of people and that can kind of suck. But-
just quickly, just to finish that point, not just a sea of people, a sea of fat people
Whoa.
looking for food. That's what always kind of got me to be like, I don't know if I want to be a part of this.
All right.
I'm just being honest.
So what I'm saying with that is like when you can navigate like by yourself or with like just one other dude, it's way better. Like because you're just
You can
weaving in
whip
and out of there,
weaving in and out of people. I had to do
zigzagging.
that a bunch yesterday.
Yeah, but when you're there with like your family, hey, that's it's always great, growing up, you go there, but it's like, man, having to try to keep everybody together and then walk to place to place to place.
Well, I've
and
just come around.
stand in line
It's-
for
it's
food.
like, that's American culture, So I'm not gonna fight to go upstream. I'm not gonna fight the waterfall at this point. I'm just gonna accept it. And the older I get, the more it's like, well, at least this is like something that's cultural to this geographical area that I'm in. So the older I get, the cooler it seems.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But it is a scene. I mean, you see
Yeah.
people that you don't otherwise see in like Minneapolis or something. They're like bussing them in from, I don't know, Faribault or I don't know.
Oh,
where
people
they're
from
coming
literally
from.
all across the state and
Oh,
all across the
yeah.
country too.
I mean, like the park and ride busing is just in the immediate area, and then they have like Metro Transit across the Twin Cities, like 5 different locations or so, including Maple Grove, bussing in people. But it's not like it's that far. But I think they got other things too that are not affiliated with the fair that do go longer distances.
Yeah.
Like maybe from like St. Cloud or Rochester or something like that.
Well, even like Iowa.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Like, I
Like some
not
tour
this year,
bus.
but the previous year, I was in line waiting to park, and there was this big truck next to me. We got out, we started talking, and yeah, it turns out they came up from Iowa with their like, I don't know, some kind of electrical bikes or something like that to sell at the fair. So
Oh, wild. So all right, well, the foods here. So I got the list of all the new foods. There's 33 new foods added to the fair and 6 new food vendors added to the expansive menu offered at the Great Minnesota Get Together. In total, the State Fair offers 1,600 foods and nearly 300 concession locations throughout the fairgrounds.
1,600?
that seems like a lot, but I don't know. Like, are they counting like, okay, Coke, then Diet Coke, then Sprite, then water? I mean, I don't know how they come up with 1,600.
Well, what were some of the new ones that
Yeah,
caught
what-
your eye?
What are the new of the 1600?
All right, I didn't really read through this very good yet here,
All
but
right,
I'll just read the very first ones. We'll see how it goes. 3 piggy pals on a stick, 3 smoked sausages, 3 smoked sausage slices wrapped in bacon, filled with a cream cheese mix and drizzled
Gross.
with barbecue sauce.
Gross.
Yeah.
Topped with a jalapeno slice and served on a stick. Gluten friendly.
Oh, it's got vegetables.
Gluten friendly.
Well,
So
you had to chill cream
that
cheese.
sounds delicious.
Gluten-friendly?
It sounds delicious.
Sausage wrapped in bacon.
That sounds like a great
Pig
breakfast.
wrapped in other part of the
Yum.
pig.
Yeah,
Yes,
that part sounds
please.
good. But then you get the cream cheese. Oh, that sounds terrible.
See, and I'm a cream cheese guy.
Oh,
I
yeah?
like cream cheese with the jalapeno, give it a little popper
Yeah.
taste to it,
I like jalapenos as well.
and then a little drizzle with the barbecue sauce. It probably is bomb. It's at Sausage Sister and Me, located in the food building
Okay.
on the east wall.
Food Building's also got the mouth-trap cheese curds.
What's a mouse trap?
No, mouth. That's just what the vendors call it. Mouth-trap cheese curds.
Like, yeah, it's like a spinoff of Mousetrap.
Yeah.
Because then there's mouse, like
Like neon
part of the
signs and
logos and
stuff,
stuff. Yeah.
So you just get one, like,
One
Curd.
cheese curd?
because that's kind of
with
enough. You get
three-
cheese curds,
three
and it's
piggy
so
pals.
bomb, and
Oh,
then by the second one, you're just
Oh.
like,
Yeah, like at the very beginning, you're just like, oh, these are delicious. And by the end, you're like, anyone want these
by
last
the
few?
end, by like the third one, you're like, Jesus.
That's
I need
salt
to-
bomb. Speaking of curds, there's some new curds.
Mouth trap.
I saw.
Buffalo cheese curd and chicken tacos.
I want to get those. I haven't had a chance to get
Like
those.
Big cheese curds.
Buffalo, where does that one at? Looking for it
Fried
yesterday.
buffalo flavored cheese curds and chicken topped with blue cheese slaw, drizzled with buffalo sauce,
Delicious.
and served on a fried flour shell at the Richie Cheese Curd Tacos, located on the north side of Judson Avenue between Liggett and Close Streets, outside of the sheep and poultry barn.
Oh, down that way. Okay.
So it probably smells like
What
animals.
did you say? Buffalo flavored
Cheese curds.
I think I saw
What?
it yesterday.
buffalo flavored cheese?
Yeah, flavored like buffaloes.
All right. All right.
I'll try
Let's
it.
find something that Burn will like here.
I will not.
You
I
got
don't
anything-
think
is
they have
there anything
that
vegan?
Alligator? They
that
made
type of food at the state fair.
Is there
What?
anything?
I like the corn on the cob and.
Is there
that's
anything
about it.
vegan?
Yeah, they had vegan corn dogs I saw yesterday.
Jesus Christ.
I do like the Prono pups. as
Those are just
well.
corn dogs.
They're different,
It says right
Oh, here
on
we
the
go.
sign, corn dog.
but they're different. They're
corn
like,
dogs.
Have more crisp batter to them.
Corn dogs.
Then
Same
you
thing you
said-
got in elementary school.
No.
Yep.
They're so much better.
Nope.
Okay. The batter you don't think is any.
It tastes like
crisper?
exactly like a corn dog I've ever had anywhere else in my life.
All right.
Oh, God.
Have
the
you ever had
school
them
lunch
side by
corn
side though?
No, I don't think I've ever had
Okay.
them side by side.
I think
but
we should do that at the fair.
we should probably find a way to
think we
test that.
should.
Maybe bring one home one of these
Or
nights.
when we find 2 different stands, you go and get 2 from the one place. I'll get 2 from the other. We'll go back and we'll swap.
Yeah,
We'll
we
each try
could
'em.
play that game. Yeah, let's do it.
How much is a corn dog?
Oh,
$7
Prono
bucks.
Pup is
$7
Is it 6 or
bucks?
7?
I think it's up to 7 this
and
year.
then a Papa Pup is
Holy
10.
shit.
Yeah, because I think the Papa Put was
Like-
10.
Mystery meat and breading?
But you get the
Jesus.
Papa Pup.
$7.
I don't know what that
$7.
That's like the foot long version.
Dude,
Yeah,
and speaking of
absolutely
footlong,
not.
the footlong
Absolutely.
hot dogs everywhere were $9. I
For
was
a
like,
hot dog?
I'm like, yeah, I usually get this, but I ain't paying $9 for it. At the end of the day, it's a hot dog. I'm not paying you guys $9.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You
I don't
could,
think I
like-
can afford this.
And then, and I wasn't just me. Every time I walked up or walked past one of those footlong hot dog stands, there was nobody waiting for one. So, guys, I think you need to lower your price.
Or start putting better ingredients in the hot dogs. I won't eat a hot dog.
I mean,
Nothing.
they tasted fine previous years, so I mean, I'm sure they weren't top of the line.
Do they
but-
still have alligator? That was like I
Oh,
go
yeah, yeah,
very,
yeah.
very infrequently.
Yeah, they
but
still
I
got deep
remember
fried
when they brought in
alligator.
Alligator, and I was like excited to try it as a novelty, and
I didn't like it.
It's
Yeah,
terrible.
This
Yeah, I
little
didn't
tiny.
like
Florida man.
Remember when I
would
had
be,
it? I
Like,
didn't
the
like
only
it.
person with any business.
You had
eating
it that
an
one time,
alligator.
remember?
That makes sense because if it did taste good, you would think like that's what we would be harvesting because they're so scary.
Right.
People wouldn't have any objections to like harvesting them on a mass scale.
Yeah.
Whereas
I think we've got this dialed in. It's like
All right.
chicken, pork, beef, like alligator. No, don't.
We don't need that.
No.
I wish it tasted better because yeah, I would feel better about killing millions of
Of alligators.
What's next?
Yeah, I think because like Florida's like running low on alligators. Like we gotta like quit.
We are
We gotta
not.
cut down. Exactly.
I was accosted. By
All right, so
Never mind.
all right, we'll read another one here. I'm trying to find one that Osborne would maybe like here, but
How about
No, don't just go on.
how about
this.
deep fried ranch?
I'll keep my mouth shut.
That's
well,
not a
just
thing.
go
it's
on
not
the
one of the
next.
new ones, but it is a thing.
That is a
but-
thing.
Go down the list.
Deep fried ranch.
They had that last year.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I thought it was new this year.
How do you fry
Just-
ranch?
I have no idea.
Salad
Just one of those-
dressing.
yeah.
Oh wait a minute, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's here. I
Yeah,
thought I
it's
heard
new
about it
this
before.
year.
Okay, let me read it up.
Like,
Deep fried ranch dressing. Ranch dressing filling made with ranch dressing, buttermilk, cream cheese in a planko shell, deep fried and dusted with ranch powder. Served with a side of hot honey sauce crafted with Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. And they have it noted as being vegetarian. It's located at the
Vegetarian because it doesn't have any ingredients. It's just sauces.
just ranch.
at the Lulu Public House, located at the West End Market, south of Schilling Amphitheater.
Deep fried salad dressing.
I saw a video of somebody
Unreal.
eating it, and it just looked gross.
Yeah.
It just sounds terrible. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, think about like you have like a mozzarella stick, and you pulled it apart and you ate it, and you had just some of the breading left, and you just dipped that in your ranch and ate it. Like,
yeah.
that's probably like kind of what it would be like.
Or like
right?
when you get an onion ring and it doesn't have the onion left in the middle. It's
Yes,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah, they just deep fried. Oh,
that's funny.
deep fried salad dressing.
Next
all
year.
right, let me find something crazy.
Deep fried
I'm gonna-
French.
I shouldn't say unreal because
here's
that's
the-
like what I kind of come to expect from the fair.
I mean, I think some of these new foods they go for shock value, if anything.
Here's one of the longest descriptions, and here's wild rice. It sounds like a Minnesota. Oh my god!
Oh, it's totally Minnesota
That
thing.
sounds a little better.
Nix tamal in wild rice bowl with now some of these letters have like those things above them, so I don't know how to pronounce this, but
Molly.
Wozapi, Wozapi, no Wozapi, and bison meatballs or sweet potato dumplings. Choice of bison meatballs or sweet potato dumplings, topped with a mixed berry wasabi sauce,
What is that?
and served on a bed of nixtamal, Nixtamal, which is described as white corn, blue corn, and yellow corn, mixed with wild rice, and seasoned with maple and spices. Cricket and seed mix topping optional. Cricket. And labeled as gluten-free and vegan option. Well, vegan? It's not vegan.
Has
Crickets?
crickets
That's
on
an
it.
animal.
That can't be crazy.
It says cricket and seed. This is at the Midtown Global Market Indigenous Food Lab, located in the Taste of Midtown Global Market booth at the International Bazaar, East Wall. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I want to try that. one.
Wow.
It sounded good until the cricket.
The cricket and seed.
Well, those
mix.
are optional, so you can
Yeah,
you can get without that. But I don't know.
that's
it's
nuts.
like too many like things all coming together at once.
Oh, all right. What else we got here?
What's good
That
that
did have
they
a lot
have?
of ingredients for a state fair.
Some of their
Yeah.
new items are
What did you
questionable.
ask? What are some of the good?
Well, I mean I've read through the list of new items and there was
All right, here
nothing
we
that popped out to me other than like the buffalo cheese curd thing.
Why
That
are we
sounds
going
like
to this
decent.
again?
What are some of the good ones?
Well, what do you?
Okay, here we go. Ladies slipper marble sundae. They can't screw that up, right?
Ice cream.
Bridgman's strawberry ice cream,
Okay. Yeah.
lemon marshmallow cream, and ladyfinger cookies layered in a cup and topped with whipped cream and a cherry.
There
That's
you go.
At
Yeah.
Bridgman's Ice Cream, located at the northeast corner of Judson Avenue and Liggett Street.
Take one of those.
Yeah, there
All
you
right.
go.
All right.
That sounds normal.
I'm down, except, I'm not a big sweets guy at the fair because, dude, I just instantly crash from sugar if I eat something like that. I'm like comatose immediately. Can you guys, now, Dave, I know you, but can you guys eat like something sugary like that and just march on throughout the day, walk another 10 miles in the day after that? And
No.
yeah.
But I don't frequent the fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man.
I got to the fair one time before everything was open, just little stands. First thing I got, ice cream cone. I just stomped through the rest of the fair.
Yeah, okay, I could do an ice cream cone though. That's a lot lighter, but that's Sunday.
What about
Here's
mini
another
donuts
sweet.
Right away.
This one sounds kind of good, I think. Yeah, this one sounds good. Fried banana pie. Banana pie. Homemade pie filled with Minnesota honey and fresh banana and Biscoff cookie butter, battered and deep fried. At Sabino's Pizza Pies, located in the Lee and Rose Warner Coliseum North Side.
Not gonna make a special trip, but
Yeah,
if somebody's
I was
got one,
thinking
I'll take a bite.
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm with you. I'm not a big sweets at the fair guy.
Those
I feel like
cookies
it's
are
more about
jams,
the
though.
fried.
Those
the
are
sweet
overrated.
Marthas.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're hot chocolate chip cookies. That
They're
What's
good.
the price on those?
Very good. So
Dave, do you know the updated price on a bucket? Is it
No,
like $25.
it's probably close to that.
yeah,
but
I bought some because I brought them into the office a couple other years.
Yeah.
And it's like 20 something.
it
for
might
them.
be
I
pushing
can't
30.
remember.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
think
it's quite to
28.
30. But I don't know. I mean,
That's
I've
what I remember.
had lots of chocolate chip cookies that are just nice and hot out of the oven. I think those are better than the
That's
Sweet
what makes
Marthas.
the
Everyone like,
taste- Yeah, I agree.
it's just
but if you're like once
The
they've
fact that they're
you bring them
warm.
home and they've cooled off, they're.
Yep.
I mean,
Not
I've had
that
I've
good.
had better.
And they do that pretty quickly. Like the next day, that's what I got all these cookies for the office. Yeah, they're still great to eat, but yeah, they're like rock hard then.
Yeah.
After that.
And you can throw them in the microwave, warm them up. But I don't know. I mean, I'd rather the cookies that my mom and grandma make. Those are I take those hands down.
All right, here we go. This is something that Ryan's gonna like here. I think Afro Poppers.
Poppers?
Afro Poppers.
I mean,
Bite-sized pastries infused with an African blend of spices.
no.
What do you mean?
Ground-
No?
No.
Yeah. What do you mean? No.
you
You,
mean-
you don't even hear what
Based
spices
on the
they
word
are.
African.
Wow.
That's wrong.
Whoa.
You gotta
No,
it's
listen to the
not.
spices.
You don't even know what spices are on it.
It's
What
2024.
The party of acceptance.
African spice. It's not like what's an African spice that like has caught on.
Okay, here's the
Cumin.
this is the blend.
Yeah,
No, this is
Yeah, you don't know.
this is the blend that they are describing.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear the blend.
I'm just saying this is an entire continent that's not particularly known for their cuisine.
All right.
Wow.
Oh, okay, what's a great African food dish? This is not.
Why don't you go to Mama T's in Brooklyn Park and order something?
Do you like the
It's an African
hamburger?
restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, that was created in Chad. Okay.
Get out of here. Okay,
What's the
Pizza?
spice list?
You like pizza?
we'll give him. We'll just
Guess
give him
what?
a second.
All right.
Ethiopia.
Oh,
Give me a
that's
chance to
Okay.
have some more
so, I
rip
don't
your
know
hair.
what else you want. Pizza and hamburgers. Thank you, Africa.
Okay, keep going.
All right, this
Fried
is
balls with African spice. Or what? What is it?
Oh,
Fried pastry.
bite-sized pastries. No balls, and there's no balls involved
What's
in
on
any of
his
this.
mind tonight?
Yeah, he's thinking about balls. Got Burn excited
Tastes like
immediately.
balls.
Look at him going.
How do you know what balls taste like?
There's salty balls, chocolate salty. All right, no, they're bite-sized pastries infused with an African blend of spices, which they're describing as ground vanilla,
Delicious.
Yeah, you got my attention.
cardamom,
Okay.
ginger,
Yeah, ginger's awesome.
All right.
cloves.
Yes.
well,
Yeah,
Did we learn?
Not one of the upper tier spices, but I mean, you,
Still-
very
decent
good in
one.
Indian cuisine. I use cloves when I make chicken curry.
Mm-hmm.
Very good with that. And then nutmeg. That's good. That's good.
Well,
All right, let's
right,
seek
all right,
these
all
out
right.
when we go,
It was,
Tom.
Exercise in listening
Yeah.
before we make judgment.
And they're deep fried. Everybody loves that, right?
Yep.
Coated with a choice of coconut flakes, sugar, or served plain.
I'll pick sugar.
Topped with a choice of drizzle, mango chutney, caramel.
Oh
I
yeah.
almost said or chocolate. And that's it. At the Afro Deli, located in the food building, East Wall.
All right.
well, I'm more receptive to it after it
Yeah.
was described.
No, not
You should have
so.
listened. To,
Personal growth.
Not so
I'm
quick
proud of
to
you.
generalize
Moment of personal growth.
but
a
It's
continent.
pretty fun to
A
just
continent.
make snap generalizations with
like
a
those-
lot of conviction. Like that's my jam.
It's
so-
like those sheets they gave out in elementary school that had like to teach you to read directions, and it'd be like, write your name at the top. Now underline it. Now draw a
yeah.
red circle.
Oh, yeah.
Now do a blue square. And then you get down to like step 30. Don't do steps 2 through 30 or something like that.
I remember those.
I hated those
I
things.
crushed those things.
I did. I crushed those. And when we had to write the directions for them too, I remember doing this in class. The girl that had to do mine had like a packet like this of like I had several pages back and front and back of directions. When it was all done, she was the only one that drew the thing exactly like it was supposed to be.
No, I think you're thinking of something else.
think so?
You're,
Do you?
You're
I
thinking of
don't
something
know what
else.
You're talking about.
What
Like,
do you
this was
the
like-
directions.
they-
You follow
Talking about
directions.
follow the directions. They
No, it
instruct
was
you
like,
to
read first.
Yeah, read everything before starting, and then
Well, this one was we had to follow directions like that to like make something, but then
Oh,
we
okay.
also then had to try to get somebody else to draw something or make something based on our written directions.
Oh, no, that's something
And then they had to
different.
try to visualize it. And everybody else in the class, they wrote like a sentence and give it to them, or like a paragraph and gave it to them, and people would draw these like the most jacked up things. But I'm like, dude, it's gonna take a lot to be able to describe it. I wrote like a whole packet, and this girl, like, she was the last one in class, still working on it, reading every one of my pages. But then when she was done, the picture was exactly the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it was a fucking cock?
Jesus. Yeah, and I got expelled. I got expelled from that, and then I never graduated from high school.
You had him draw
Yeah.
a drag show?
Yeah, it was a rooster. It was a farm class. What are you talking
Cut that
about?
out.
Cut that out. All right, let me get another food here. We got a few minutes here.
Not every joke lands, guys. You just have to try.
Oh, we're gonna do some special editing around that one. All right, I want to try to find another country to see what Ryan's reaction is.
No, just go in order.
Should I?
Yeah, because they probably have the good ones at the top.
Well, the Three Piggy Pals was the first one. Then number 2 was Afro Poppers, and number 3 is Bacon Sour Cream and Onion, which is described as sour cream and onion hummus topped with beef bacon, sumac tater tots,
What kind of
caramelized
tater tots?
sumac,
Okay.
caramelized onions, scallions, French onion creme fraiche, black cumin seeds, and chive oil, served with pita puffs dusted with sour cream and onion powder, gluten-free without the pita puffs, vegetarian without bacon, at Baba's, located on the east side of the Underwood Street between Lee and Randall Avenues, just
think-
south of the Little Farmhands.
I think that's that like old Airstream trailer. I think that's what they are.
Really?
Inside an old Airstream trailer. Yeah.
Ryan, are you a hummus guy?
a little bit, not crazy about it. What else we got?
Little
I
bit.
don't want. Let's.
Blazing Greek bites, deep fried
No,
bites.
what else we got? What's the next
chili mango whip,
That,
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
Intrigued.
mango dole soft served in a cup rimmed at the cup rimmed and topped with the chamoy. Yeah, easy, and Tajin chamoy, CHAMOY, and Tajin, TAJIN, garnished with tamarind candy straw. Alternative flavors of Dole soft serve include pineapple, strawberry, or lemon.
No, I don't want any of that. Not for $9. What's something with wild rice in it, or
They got those wild rice hamburgers in the food building. Those are pretty good.
or like some sort of a hot dish thing. Give me something.
There is a
Minnesotan.
hot dish.
That sounds good.
Let's see here.
Good ones.
Yeah, none of this shit's coming back next year. They're not going to have African balls. They're not going to have rimmed. What is it?
It's not
Caramel
balls.
Tamarind?
They're pastries.
Rimmed candy straw.
Yeah, the
Oh,
None
dude,
of those things will
the
be
deep
back
fried
next
ranch
year.
will
Oh,
definitely
well,
be
the
back
best
next
was-
year.
Fried ranch will not be.
The best thing at the fair was the rimmed products this year. Those were great.
That won't be back.
All right, so, Swedish soda sliders.
There you go.
All right.
Hamlin Church Dining Hall's cranberry wild rice meatball formed into patties, paired with dill Havarti cheese and a red relish of beets, red onions, red peppers, lingonberries, and cranberries, served on 2 brioche buns at Hamlin Church Dining Hall, located on the north side of Dan Patch Avenue between Underwood and Cooper Streets.
That could be decent.
Yeah, I'd give that a whirl.
Yeah.
I don't know
What
about
was that
that
called?
red relish of beets, though. I don't know if I'd
Everything
like that.
in Minnesota has got to have pickles on it. What the fuck is with that?
There hasn't been
Like,
pickles on anything. you talk
Swedish
about.
soda sliders.
pizza.
Yeah, there is a pickle item. Those were called Swedish soda sliders.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
Ham and pickle roll up on a potato
Oh,
skin.
Nothing has pickle, Nagel, huh?
You said
Oh,
everything
sorry,
had
Dave,
pickle.
Nothing has pickle, Dave. Is that right?
You said
items
everything's
in
got
a row.
to. You said everything's got to have
I
pickle.
used the word everything.
Everything.
but I was trying to make a point that it's a
Everything
Midwestern thing
is not two.
to add pickles to something and say like, "Oh, this is so good." Like, no. Don't put pickles on pizza. I don't
Yeah,
want
pickles
that.
on. You
Don't
ever go
order
to
it.
Godfather's and get the bacon cheeseburger pizza, get the pickles on it.
That's
It's
not no.
absolutely amazing.
That's fine.
That
You
sounds pretty
can
good.
make that food and eat it and think
Yeah,
that
I-
it's good, but don't
is
use
good.
the word pizza. It's not pizza. at
Well,
that
what is
point.
it? If-
I don't know. It's
a
pickled
pizza.
hot dish.
Is
You can get it
dessert,
in Vegas,
is dessert
too.
pizza?
What's that?
No,
Is
it's not
dessert
but
pizza?
it's Fucking delicious.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
All right,
not
so
a pizza,
this
that's a
is what
cookie.
these are. These are ham and pickle roll up on a potato skin. I purposely chose a pickle item. 3 fried potato skins filled with a blend of sour cream, cream cheese, chopped pickles, and ham, topped with potato chip crumbles. At Route 66 Roadhouse Chicken, located in the food building, northwest corner. Another
Sounds
pickle
good.
item.
That sounds good.
Dill pickle tots. Fried tater tots tossed in dill seasoning with hints of vinegar flavor, like a dill pickle potato chip, at Tot Boss, located on the east side of Underwood Street between Wright and Dan Patch Avenues, south of the Kidway.
Also sounds good. I like.
it's funny,
Pickles.
there are-
I think every item should have pickles on
It's
it.
funny, multiple new items though with pickles though. On top of all the pickle items they have, there are a lot of pickle options.
These are the standouts, Chris. Whatever you got over here, this is what
That's
we
like
need.
the most popular ones.
Yeah, this
What I have is all the
He's
new
got
items,
the new ones,
Ryan.
though. That's cool.
Yeah.
pork chop on a stick. Yeah,
$11.
shut
Does it
up.
show the prices?
pork chop on
Oh,
a
Pork
I-
chip on a
it's
stick was
$11.
$11.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
for
and
fuck's
is it not more than that? Or?
No, it was $11
Was it
yesterday when
11?
I saw it. Yeah, thought about getting one. I was
That's
like,
insane.
How many?
I can get a whole
do you know how
pack
many
of
pork
pork
you
chops
get in a
$11.
pig?
I don't.
like 7.
Yeah.
Did you just? Where'd you get that number? That sounds very precise for somebody that I do. Grew up on a cul-de-sac and not a farm.
It's usually when I buy a package of pork chops, there's 7 in there.
We're gonna take a break. All right, and we're back.
Hey guys,
I'm suffering.
you suffering?
Yeah, I got bit.
Mosquitoes.
So I got bit. We were outside. I got bit by a mosquito. It's already flaring up. What time's the ER open till tonight?
They're 24/7.
So you react to
24.
adversity?
Well,
So-
okay, so I was trying not to get one. I haven't been going outside hardly at all in the evening time because they've been super bad this year. We've had super rainy weather, and I live basically
By
in
a
like a pond, swampy pond.
Do you throw any of those mosquito discs in there this year?
Right on
You
the
know-
border of a wetland.
I can't quite remember. I may have in spring.
Okay.
But I usually do it a few different times. But you're right. I should have done it. But I haven't been outside.
Right.
So I don't really care. But yeah, of course, I go outside for a little bit and then I got bit. Yeah, it's already feeling great. Itching like hell. I put some cream on it. It does nothing. Of course. There's not one ointment or cream. If anybody's listening to this and they're a mosquito bite expert and they know of some sort of special cream or some cure out there that they can suggest, I would be love to open to that idea, because I've tried a million different things and nothing works.
There's just a pile.
Put
of
it in the
money
comments.
waiting for
Yeah.
somebody if they can come up with what
Yeah,
Tom's
from me.
asking for. Because that is a lot of people would be interested in that product.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're
People
right.
would buy that product.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. Like, there's not a lot of funding for vector-borne disease. You know, one of the best things you can do for mosquitoes is like a bed net. They cost like pennies on the dollar.
Okay, yeah.
And if you're in Africa, yeah, you can get these like.
Oh yeah,
Africa.
yeah. I know
Well,
what you're talking
that-
about. Like
yeah,
you zip it
that's
up.
Where like there's.
Like that's where the
many
worst.
Well,
people-
what if I just don't want to get bit in the backyard?
You know,
Yeah, I don't think there's a market for that. If there was money in
There's a
mosquito
market.
repellents, like they would have.
You
it.
could use
There's
that
a
off. That
It's
works to get rid of them
viewers
for
at
me.
home, there's a market.
But I mean,
There's not
Mis-
a market.
Use
talking,
off.
talking to your mic.
you're not. Nobody's gonna like make it rich commercializing a new like mosquito. I'm just saying, bed nets are an incredibly effective public health measure because they can cut
Yeah.
incidents of malaria for like pennies on the dollar. And like the mosquitoes in Minnesota, yeah, they're terrible, but you know they don't spread malaria or
Yet.
dengue fever.
So we
Yet.
just got to
Or-
deal with
yeah,
that.
well, global warming is
No.
coming, and then they'll reach higher latitudes. So one day we'll get those, and then you just want to die for like a couple days when you get bit by a mosquito.
What does that mean? We'll reach higher
Yeah,
latitudes?
Well, like
They'd
you know,
they'd
with
already
the-
be here if they were going to be here.
No,
They'd
absolutely
be on
not.
like boats and stuff coming, just how we got emerald ash borer.
Yeah, no, but like some of these.
That's how we got emerald ash borers. It
Yeah.
came on boats. You know, mosquitoes come on boats, same way.
Oh, my
Yes,
leg.
but the vector-borne mosquitoes, you know, that spread dengue, they operate between very specific latitudes, and as the temperatures globally are increasing, they're like finding this species of malaria-carrying mosquitoes at higher latitudes, and like you know, I mean, I was in school.
So at
15
that
years
point,
ago.
they'll care. Or sorry to interrupt.
No, I was just gonna say, like,
Ah.
you know, for military planning, things like that. You know, I mean,
Swole.
the military had plans in place to deal with changing climate. You know, it was kind of when there was a lot of controversy about, you know, climate change, and they're like, you know, whether you believe it or not, like the military is like drawing up contingency plans for like encountering these vector-borne mosquitoes and these illnesses at different terrains than they otherwise would. You know, so I mean, it's spreading. I'm just like, yeah, mosquitoes suck, but
But
So
there's
once
some
I just-
people.
I
Malaria-
suspect that there's not like a lot of money in developing like
Oh.
a new cream for a mosquito bite because it
Yeah.
itches. Like
I think
this
it's-
shit is,
I think people would make
killing
money.
Millions of people around the globe, and like they
No,
just like
there's
here,
a-
have this.
There's
net,
definitely a
put
market
this
for the
shit around
itchy
your
part
bed.
too. I'm sorry to
Probably.
cut off your net pitch.
No, I'm just saying if
but
there was
there's
money
for
in,
sure a market in the cream that will
Well,
stop
Yeah,
the itch.
because Tom would be buying
Because
it right
it
now.
gets so itchy.
I would.
And we should talk about how you know, the story you guys were about how you woke
Yeah.
up and lazily
Yeah,
slapped at one. Because when I wake up, it's like, where's a knife? Because I'm gonna cut this piece of my skin off because I'm scratching it so bad.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
if you
you
scratch
have
it,
it
it
bad
makes it
too.
worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that
Dave's
seems-
right.
If you-
What he
you're not
just
supposed to
said
scratch it,
is
make it
like,
worse.
It is a.
So if you had a
It's
cream,
an interesting
that made it not
wound
itch.
in that the more you scratch it, the worse it gets. So,
But that's
what Dave's saying is right. If you have good discipline, they're not horrible. But once they get
But-
to a
But
point,
it still can
that
be bad.
sounds
Though.
terrible.
but you know what
like-
I do, guys?
Go ahead.
I just take off bug spray and spray myself down. Guess what? I don't get mosquitoes biting me when I put that stuff on.
Well, I just put some on, but I think I might have put it on a little bit late outside.
I think so.
It's horrible too. It's like it's got to be bad for you.
I mean,
What?
I'm not- Yeah, the bug
that
spray,
bug
I'm
spray.
sure.
Yeah.
But no, I'm saying like you get bit by a mosquito, yeah, you're itchy and shit. But like if you get dengue, it's called like
Well, yeah.
break bone.
Okay, we're talking
It
about
feels like your bones
issues here.
are breaking.
Yeah.
I'm just
Dengue.
saying.
Right.
It's
I'm glad I don't have to worry about that.
Dengue.
I'm worried about my
who
itch.
Did you
gives a
say
shit
dengue?
If you're itching,
I
about
do
a
because
mosquito.
I'm not worried about
Like,
dengue.
Dave, did you say dengue?
No,
but
I
I'm
didn't make
saying
any
Nothing's
comment
gonna
about
make
that.
nothing's gonna make
I
me
didn't
gay.
say
Okay.
dengue.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
A small clinical expression.
We're gonna
like,
get
this
it.
Is this is not a
Dengue,
this is a problem.
Ben Gay, I'm not-
man. You're talking about the statement from
Nobody can hear us.
Ghostbusters. I've seen this before.
The new Ghostbusters sucked. Nobody watch it. Like
no way. I mean,
the new one was really bad.
Frozen Empire,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I mean,
With the women?
Frozen Empire wasn't
It's gotta be
like,
awful.
as good
It
as
was
the
bad.
It was.
as the other one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there were some funny parts in Frozen Empire.
It had a moment or two, but yeah, that
There were
was
some
not
funny
The
parts.
one
very
before
good.
it was really
The
good.
one before was
I
really
did enjoy
awesome.
the one before,
And yeah, I mean,
You like that one?
yeah,
yeah,
Gozer backstory and shit. That was
that was
good.
awesome. That was really awesome.
That was
Um,
really good.
But yeah, Frozen Empire is fucking garbage. Like it was so bad.
Did you see Ghostbusters Dengue? Was that
No.
good?
That's
I'm
the
just
next one coming out.
You can itch your fucking leg, or you can feel like your bones
That's
are
a
breaking
thing, though.
in your
You're
body.
being
Not
very
here.
dismissive
Like-
when you're like, you can. That's an itch, okay?
It-
but I'm saying multiply that by 100 million
Exactly.
people, and this is a thing.
No, but
this is
my-
a problem.
100 million.
My point was, if there was a
Yeah,
lot of money
100
in this to like solving
There's
this,
money.
that like there
If
would
there's a problem, there's money.
There's
And
no
this is a
money in
problem.
curing your diseases.
There's only money in treating them.
Treat them, yeah.
Yep. There's no money in
And
curing
that's
them.
why this cream would be a treatment for
Yes.
the itchy part.
So they should be working on
Yeah,
it.
Evil.
they love that.
Why'd you guys bring it there? I want to be on your guys' side, but then that was
What?
all, like profiteering.
What are you talking about?
find the company that's developing it. I'll help them get it to market. But
I don't
know.
I don't know if it exists.
Yeah, because I don't think there's any money in it.
Well, there's enough
I got
money where they
I got
sell.
five
I mean, they already, but they already,
I
They
got
already sell-
5 on it.
but they already have tons and tons of
It's
products to
got to
store
be
for.
card though.
They just don't work.
Square,
Right.
And how come?
PayPal.
Like just
All right.
like
Hold on, sorry, I
decongestions.
keep talking. Burn.
They don't work either.
It's just
He's
nobody's
just
gonna hear us if we're all talking.
Throwing 5 on it.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's nonsense.
I
We don't
know.
need to
I know.
pause for
He
that.
gets in those moods. You know, we know. Are you? Should I mute your mic for a little bit?
That no, that, like it
And
is
it's like
objectively
10 feet away from him.
hilarious
Pull it in
when
front of
he
you.
Says, I got
No,
5
it's
on it because it's like loonies. Like I still use that. I stole that from him.
There's
It's
definitely money in
objectively
it.
hilarious.
I would have.
No.
If there was a company
Yeah,
that
there's 5
actually
on it.
had the
we got
product
5 from Osborne.
that
Ryan's using a
could do
clever
what
old
Tom
school
was
throwback
asking,
saying.
it's worth money.
Yeah.
I for sure, and
Well-
not a small amount.
Well, then I would think that the technology would already exist if that were the case. But I don't,
You're right. They don't have it because they already sell like Benadryl cream. There's so many different products for mosquito bites, but they all are terrible. They don't.
Yeah,
they don't really do it.
what you really
Yep.
I want
want
something
them
that
to
like
I want something that works.
makes my skin sizzle when I put it on there. I want to know it's working. You know, I want it to like burn or something. You know,
I'm sure
it's
you
just
can
all.
get that, just not in an FDA cleared
Yeah.
product.
Well, I'm going to Mexico in January, so we'll see if they have something like that. But like, okay, so Bern, you're talking about you get super bad mosquito bites. Dave, do you ever get bit?
Yeah, I get bit.
And when you get bit, is it bad?
I don't think so, because I like last weekend I was out, I was working a concert, and I was getting bit up, so I went back and I got some bug spray, sprayed myself down, and I was even itchy before, but after I sprayed the bug spray on, the itchiness went away too.
Really?
So maybe you should try that. Spray some bug spray on that, see if that stops.
Well,
it.
I did. I have bug spray on my legs now.
Oh, okay. But yeah, when I get them, I don't itch very bad.
Because it's like the mosquito's like saliva
It's the
going into your
poison that it
skin
puts
that
into
does
you.
that, right? So if you can get rid of that or something right away,
Yeah.
then it's not going to keep on keeping
Like a
on.
snake bite?
Yeah.
No, I think
You got to suck the venom out.
Dave's talking about.
Pee on it.
though, It's different than that. It's more than just the initial thing. It's
Dude, talking to your
Yeah, pull
microphone.
your mic up.
it's after you start itching it, it progressively gets worse. It's like a snake chasing its tail. Like you're making it worse when you do that, and that's just not good for people who don't have a lot of like self-discipline. I don't think so. That's
But do you
why
ever? Okay, so
I end
okay,
up wanting to just cut my skin off.
let's
when
get
that
let's get
happens.
into this one a little bit. Have you ever had one though where it's so bad, you've had to just itch the shit out of
Yeah,
it
on your feet.
until it gets to the point
If
where
it's
it's
on your
like bleeding, and then
feet,
it kind of
yes.
maybe makes it go away a little bit at that point.
Absolutely on your for me
Oh,
personally,
the top of your
on
feet, ankles,
yeah.
top. Oh,
Yep.
that's
that
bad.
will make you like, yep,
Okay.
it's gonna bleed.
Ryan, on the other hand, why do mosquito bites not affect you? What's your secret? You get bit, you do not get an itchy reaction. Why?
I do like the ankles; those are itchy. That rings out. But
You
otherwise,
just-
like mosquito, it's not. Whatever.
So
it
when we were
itches a little bit.
kids, I had it in my mind that Ryan just does not get affected by those at all. Bugs in general, but especially mosquito bites too. As I've seen him get bit on multiple occasions, and it's just not even a thing. Like he'll slap them slowly too. Like the time you slept in the Thompson's pop-up camper.
No. It's not a slow. It's a
No,
violent.
no, he was just waking up. I remember it was Thompson's camper, and he was like, I don't know who else was in there. Was Nick in there with you?
Had to have been like he wouldn't.
Yeah.
What if he just sleeping in
Was
by
it-
himself?
It wasn't.
He just sneak
it
out
wasn't
one
his
night.
sister,
Hey, it's
right?
open.
Yeah, I think it had to have been. It had to have been. So I go there, and I'm like, 'cause
Like,
I
why
live
were
next
you
door.
there?
'Cause
Why
I
were you
live
going
next
over?
door? And
I know,
like,
but like, did you
was
just go there in the
intrigued at what the
morning, or-
older kids were doing. I wanted to be a part of
Like,
it.
was it just woke up and like, oh, I'm gonna go out
Probably,
there?
yeah,
Okay.
probably because I knew they were out there, so I went out there, and I remember I went inside, and it was still mosquito in there. I would not have been able to sleep until all those mosquitoes were gone or dead, right? Well, that's part of the reason why I was in my bed at home. But like, yeah, Ryan wakes up and he's like, you know, just like half asleep, and he looks, oh, there's one on his arm, and he just slaps it like, no big deal, just really nice and slow and everything like that. I always remember that. I was like, dude, what do you mean? It's biting you? Like, oh, probably like I already got the bite in by the time you had your hand raised and everything, but
Wow, well, did it leave a bloody mark when he?
I don't
Oh, that's the
remember
worst.
that.
Yeah.
You would remember a detail like that.
Yeah, when I wasn't there.
Yeah, but you could still probably remember it. Yeah, I don't. Do you ever remember that though? That pop-up camper being up and
I do remember that being up. Yeah,
okay.
Probably couldn't do
So
that.
you
I
slept
could
in there.
I could still
probably
s-
be like squatters in there.
No, not around here.
I could
Yeah.
I could still smell that camper.
Squatters' rights. That's their
'Cause you get musty.
domicile.
Yeah.
Their residence.
I mean, could be. Like we used to think that was fun to sleep
Yeah.
outside,
Oh, yeah.
like the
Yeah.
yard.
Well, we put remember we
think-
put the tent up in the backyard. We slept in that one night.
I might have slept in your tent on the side of your house one night.
I used to set that up probably
Because that you can like, you know, it's small, and you can make sure that everything's gone out of there.
Make sure it's safe.
Yeah, I remember. I think I remember. Yeah, you had one. That was a sweet little tent. You still got that?
No, I don't know.
Did you ever have that tent that would go on your bed when you were a kid?
Yeah,
Yeah, you had one of those.
That
Yeah,
thing-
I had one of those. That was fun.
That thing was sweet.
Oh, yeah. Those are great.
They should make those for like queen size beds now. That'd be
Well,
fun.
check Amazon. I think they do.
Maybe they do.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure they do.
That was. Yeah, you had one of those things.
Yeah.
Did you have a twin bed.
Yeah, I had a twin bed when I was a kid, and yeah, I remember one day like my parents just bought it for me. I came home and they had it set up. I was like, it's the coolest thing ever.
It was pretty sweet.
Definitely.
Did you have one of those?
Yep.
Did you have one too?
I did not. No.
Do you guys remember what color yours
Mine was
blue.
dark blue.
I went.
Yeah.
I was
Remember those
really
bamboo
terrified of the dark when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I probably went to light sleeping in that at night like that. I'd have my lights on in my bedroom when I was a kid for a long time. Yeah.
But we used to need to have the hall light on when we were kids. Otherwise, it was like,
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Because so your house is the same as mine.
yeah. And so,
So
you know, my
you
brother and sister and me, we all had those.
I never asked you this.
Yeah.
So-
So my parents would leave the hall light on for us when we were kids. Like,
Okay.
and if they shut that off, then it was like,
And they didn't have any problem sleeping with that on?
no, we all fell asleep.
Did
just
they
fine
have their
with them.
door closed then?
No, we all three would keep it open.
No, but your parents.
Oh, well, my parents went to bed, then they'd shut it off, but we were already asleep by then. So
Oh, okay, they
didn't
would.
matter,
Okay, because
yeah.
I could see like my parents being like they wouldn't be able to handle that hall light being on.
oh yeah.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this then. So then they would go to sleep.
Yep.
They would shut it off.
Yep.
Then all the lights in the upstairs were completely pitch black, right?
Yep.
What happened then when you would wake up in the middle of the night like that? Think about like when you were like really
Yeah.
young.
I don't know. Like, I think like, I remember the first time I had a nightmare, and
Okay.
this is probably the closest to that. I had this nightmare about that. Part of it had to do with the boogeyman from Ghostbusters coming out of my closet, and when I woke up, some stuff in my closet actually fell down. And so imagine being like a 7-year-old kid having this nightmare about something being in your closet, then things falling in your closet in real life.
In pitch black
In
darkness.
pitch black. I remember just taking
That's
off.
what gets me.
I remember just taking off out of my bedroom into my parents' room.
Dude, into that dark abyss.
And yeah, because I was like, well, I mean, I wasn't, all I was thinking is like, I have to get to safety.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Did you hit your light switch as you?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
I
Dude.
remember like getting to my parents' house or my parents' bedroom and waking my parents up and, oh, you just had a bad dream, go to bed, and so then they calmed me down. Or I don't know, maybe I spent the night sleeping on the floor and I don't remember, but
That's crazy, but you remember that vivid detail
Yeah.
of like the nightmare because
I could still.
a couple.
So Ryan,
nightmares
yeah,
as a
what?
child,
So
like,
did you? So did
Tell me
you
the
sleep
Ferris
with?
wheel one. You told me about the Ferris wheel.
Did you
nightmare
sleep
when we were
at
kids.
with
You
all
remember
the
that one?
It was like a
complete
demon
darkness?
thing, like
You probably had some
I-
cool like night lights that were
No,
really
I
fancy
don't
and awesome.
remember, but
and,
I remember like how vivid some of like the nightmares were as a child. Not too many, but I mean there was like.
Do you,
It's just interesting that you also can remember that. Like,
do you remember the
30
one you
years
told me
later.
about the Ferris wheel?
I
Tell us
Yeah,
that
I wanna-
one.
Well, I haven't heard this.
Well, you tell us, and I'll tell you the one I remember from you telling me.
I remember.
Yeah, 'cause
being
you'll be able to tell the
chased
story better.
by a fucking like black demon thing. It looked kind of like the guy from Critters. I don't know if you know.
Oh yeah.
There was a movie poster that I'm sure it was based on that was in Jeremy's room.
All right, I'll try to
Yes,
post it. I'll try to
but,
put it on the screen here.
And that's what it was based on. But yeah, it was a lot of chasing and just sheer terror of this thing, and like it put me on like a flattened me in a Ferris wheel kind of a thing. And you wake up, or I guess I woke up when he got me.
This
But
is
remember it like 30 years later.
Well, dude, we
more than that.
watched some stuff as kids that could be. I mean, especially too when I was tagging along with you guys. You guys are older, so you'd have a little access to some of that, like Nightmare on Elm Street.
We had
Friday
a
the
neighbor that was
13th.
5 years old.
Oh, that guy, yeah,
Yeah.
Really
him.
into horror movies in the 80s. So yeah,
5
I'm
years older
sure
than
it was
you
pretty
guys.
just- yeah.
So he's like 8 years older than me.
But it's just, do you remember like a vivid dream or a nightmare or something from like your childhood?
I mean,
you were
I-
scared of the dark. Where did that come from?
Dude, I don't know.
Do you think
I
about
don't know.
that? Well,
Yeah.
I
So,
interject with.
But I want to hear
I
too.
remember getting introduced to those Nightmare on Elm Street movies way too early because
Yeah.
of you.
Yes.
And it was totally because I
Yeah.
knew you, and it was cool
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
But
Well-
in looking back, it's like you're probably a little young to be
Yeah.
I don't think so,
introducing that
'cause, like,
imagery to your brain.
We also got like Metallica at 6 years old. Like
That's
Beastie
different
Boys,
than Demon with
Nightmare
claws
on Elm, Freddy and
who
Jason.
attacks you. In
Ryan's
your
parents let him
dreams.
do
like-
a little bit more in
Yeah.
that stuff than
We
some
had,
of ours.
like, an older
Yeah.
neighbor, and yeah, they didn't really police. That
Yeah, they were
shit,
older.
but,
Like
Shout
we
out- shout
could've
out-
done-
shout out to
we
Jeremy.
could've done
Jeremy.
better
yeah,
if we were
shout out
older.
to Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy
Like
Johnson.
Iron Maiden. How
Shout
I
out,
don't
man.
think Jeremy, you did me any favors.
Oh,
Dude, he
But you didn't know
think you
me.
did.
So if you're listening, I understand you're so
That was
cool.
Jeremy's friend. He lived on your block, Shane,
Yes, he
with the
did.
bike. Yeah,
Yep.
that kid was cool.
Jeremy's like a legend when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like
Right.
he was born for that.
But like, what if we had like, it was Julie, and we were getting like New Kids on
Oh,
the
God.
Block and Debbie Gibson and shit. Like,
That's would have been age appropriate material because he was when you're 5 years older, then your brain is more mature, especially when you're talking about the difference between being like 12 and 17. That's like 30% of your life more. By the fractional amount, it's a huge difference in development. Yep.
I think it gave us more discerning taste as older folks because we were exposed to some of the greats like in our formative years.
You
And
say
it could have been very
discerning
different.
taste. I say scarring trauma.
Yeah, I was thinking scarring too. Yeah,
What were
Like
the horror movies that
PTSD
scared you?
generating
Nightmare
type.
on Elm Street. The demon with the claws who attacks you in your dreams. Yeah, that
Only
one?
the first one was like scary. The
Well,
second
that
one,
was the
then
one
they
I
got
saw when I was fucking
There was also
11 years,
Child's
12
Play.
years old.
Child's Play. They had that. They had even the movie like Tremors even too.
I remember watching Tremors at your.
There was a lot
House that
of
one
Tremor-esque type movies in that era too. Some of them were terrible.
Yeah, a lot of disposable.
See, I never got in though with you guys on the Nightmare on Elm Street, so I didn't see Nightmare on Elm
that
Street
was a
till I
good
was like
call
in
on
my
your
late
part.
30s.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I just one day
Not
I'm like,
the remake.
That was
no,
like-
the
that was
original one.
That was
I
the right decision, Dave.
I went
That's
on-
the right age to be watching that movie.
They were like a
at.
cultural phenomenon.
Like,
My
Yeah, well,
parents
Halloween-
watched Nightmare on Elm
Friday the
Street.
13th.
Your parents were
that
fucking 30 years old. We were 11.
But it was still fun. I think back then. I think it just scared you because you're too little.
yeah.
So it-
I totally agree that on the too little part. That's exactly my point. You totally just said my point.
Bern, what about you? When you when you were growing up, would you sleep light on or light off? We got to hear it. Get your mic in front of your face.
Light on or light off for sleeping?
Yeah.
Oh, night on for a long time. Yeah.
Light on. Okay.
I had a nightlight.
I remember I would have them on, and I remember, dude, I'd get so scared with, like, at night, if it got a little dark in there, you'd see something in your room that it would, like, look like a monster or something, or you'd think it would move or something like that. Dude, I was so traumatized by stuff like that even with, like, the lights on, like, one time I was, like, turned one way laying in bed, and I saw, like, something in my blankets that were, like, it was kind of like, just like folded up in a way where it kind of looked like a mouth.
Yeah.
And I swear it went like this. It went. I'll get it on camera. It goes, ma, and it like made that noise too, ma, and it moved like that. I swear, dude. I was like a little kid. I was like, ah, I was so scared. I turned. I could only sleep then laying on my back or turn the other way. Right.
You couldn't face that.
I couldn't face that way
Like forever or just that night?
for a long time.
Okay.
A long time, way too long, right? And it got to the point where then there was like something that freaked me out when I laid like the other direction, right? Not like as bad though, and I don't know. Eventually, I got over it, but yeah, dude,
So
it was crazy.
you remember that first Ghostbusters movie? Remember that scene when Dana Barrett, right? Yeah, is sitting on the chair and these hands come out and start like grabbing her.
Very scary.
I remember like that
Definitely
part.
remember that.
Like I remember like when I was a kid, if I had like my arm hanging over the bed, I thought for sure that was gonna come up and grab my arms. Like
Yeah.
for the longest time after watching that, I couldn't like have my arms hanging off the bed.
We were probably very young when we first
Oh, yeah,
saw
that-
like under 10.
No,
And
Like,
I
we were like
have
5 or
very-
6.
another memory from that.
That's
I was going
a
to say,
very
is that
traumatic imprint for a child memory or brain. That's just the earlier point I had. I would say like the same thing that applies to Nightmare on Elm Street applies to those images from Ghostbusters because that one that you're talking about, we all remember it. I'm sure a lot of people do. It was a very powerful image, and it's like if you're under 10,
Yeah.
you have a very impressionable brain. You might not want to be introducing that sort of like traumatic imagery to somebody of that age. That was all my point was.
All right,
No,
well,
but was that the traumatic scene? Because I also have a very young memory of Ghostbusters seeing it in the movie theater. That was not the scene that like is seared into my brain.
what seat's seared in your brain?
the opening fucking ghost?
Oh
in
yeah,
the
that one
library?
too.
I was a child. I was in a movie theater with my mother, and I went to that, and I remember like slapping my hands over my eyes
Oh,
when that
okay.
ghost came out of the library. That is like seared.
That's
into my
just like a
childhood. But you're saying-
defensive mechanism.
But you're saying like the claw in
Yeah, the claw
Well,
come out of the
I definitely
chair.
remember what you're
Like-
talking about as well. Like,
but which one? Like, but the
they're
claw
a
is the one
tie.
that would. Okay.
They're both fucking.
Well,
awful.
the books floating by themselves kind of freaked me out too when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah,
See, I remember the theater laughing at that like scene.
that really.
Like, yeah, and like I do. I remember seeing Ghostbusters in the movie theater.
Wow.
What year did
you
that
had
come
already
out?
84.
been scarred at that
84.
point.
84, I believe it came out. Maybe 85. I think
And
it was
it
84.
probably ran for a while, but it was like a sensation.
Yeah.
I remember. I saw.
I
that
did
in the
not
theater.
see it in theaters.
Okay.
So you
No, I
definitely
saw it
had me
like
beat there.
like I recorded off the TV, I think.
Mhm.
And
was- Popular VHS. Yeah.
but yeah, that was
I know, very well written comedy though. Like That was like a cultural moment.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Like
it was
everybody
great.
saw that
There
on
was
VCR.
I have a third one. Can I
Okay.
introduce?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. She opens her fridge, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like this demonic temple, and the dogs are
Zool.
with the little crystal in his mouth.
See, I didn't
Hell
think that
no.
was that scary.
That part never scared me.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I
Yeah.
was
No.
checking my fridge after that. Yeah.
I'm sure I was probably a little bit scared by some of that stuff, but I don't really remember being scared of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember the ghost. I don't remember being scared of the claw in the apartment, but the. What do
Well, I
you
wasn't really.
It was
scared
more-
of it.
I
I
remember,
just thought
like-
that was
How
gonna
old were you
come.
when you
All
saw
right.
it?
I don't remember, but I'm like 3 years younger than you guys, and
Yeah.
like I remember more like. I feel like Ryan or something, he would always like have things that would freak me out or something more, like intrigue me, like because I was like I was 3 years younger, so it was easy to like trick me to be like, oh, have you seen this? Like this is real, like or something. But I can't really think of anything like specific, that can relate to that. But
Well, here's one. I know Ryan was part of it. I don't know if it was either Nick or Jeremy,
oh god,
but you were. I think you were
God.
there.
Yeah, this is gonna be something good that you remember only.
No, it's like so. Me and my brother, like the haunted house at the state fair. We were
Okay.
kids. You had been through it. I think you had maybe been through it, and either Nick or Jeremy was there and had been through it. And you were telling Ryan and Jeremy were telling me and my brother all this stuff about, oh, Freddy Krueger's in there, and I hadn't seen Nightmare on Elm Street, but I knew who Freddy Krueger was. And you're like, yeah, there's a snake pit, and like this guy with a chainsaw chasing you around. Me and my brother were like eating it up. We're like, dude, this sounds like the most awesome haunted house ever. And we begged my parents for years to let us go to this haunted house when we were kids. And then finally one year they said, okay, you can finally go. And it was like I was all amped up because we were still young enough where that memory was fresh and would think this stuff could exist that way. And we go through it, and it's like the dumbest, uninteractive thing ever. I get out, and I'm like, what the hell?
when we
You
went
guys
through
were
it,
just talking it up so much, trying to scare me and my brother.
That part of the story, Dave, you had me immediately like, oh, Dave's telling the truth, because just the way you were selling it was like, oh yeah.
I mean, I was so excited to go
definitely
through it
Ryan.
finally, and then it's just like walking
Freddy
past these
Krueger.
scenes. I'm like, when's something gonna happen?
when we went through it a couple years ago, do you remember? Did it seem cooler now?
Well, it
or-
just seemed like
you think
what it would be like as an adult. Like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. They're trying to. But you know what the funniest part was those girls,
yeah.
that were behind
When I
us.
stomped the
You
floor.
start stomping on the floor, and they freaked out.
Yeah, we were going up these steps, and it was like you could like really hear your footsteps up these like wooden steps, and I'm like do with my steps. They just scream.
And they took off.
Yeah, they were running up the steps. That was good.
That redeems a good memory about that haunted house. But
Well, dude, I went through there at a very young age with my dad,
yeah,
and I was absolutely terrified. And it's funny to think about how, like, as a kid, even though you're a kid, it's like, how could I think about that? There's this thing that like people walk through. My dad's walking through there. My dad's with me.
right.
And I'm still freaked out thinking that there's something it's going to be some monster that's going to actually get me and slit my throat or do something, whatever. And I'm there with my dad. Like, yeah, like it's not going to be happening. But yeah, I was absolutely terrified. I remember him like carrying me. So I was probably like 4 or 5 years old, because he was able to carry me through
Right.
there. It was freaky. I remember, so it doesn't do it now, but okay, when I was a kid, pitch black room, laying in bed. I remember even like when I'd sleep over at like my grandparents' house and things like that. Pitch black. You're looking up at the ceiling. You can't see anything. It's just pitch black. Whether you close your eyes or open them, it's still just like this pitch black, right? And you do you remember seeing images and shit?
Oh yeah.
Like, as a kid, I remember, dude, I'd see all sorts of things. Scary faces, things. Like, it would freak me out so bad. Like, anything would pop up. Now, it doesn't do that. I could be in complete pitch black, and that doesn't happen.
Really.
They used to put LSD
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
milk supply.
But when you were a kid, do you remember, like Dave, you said when you were a kid,
Yeah,
you
I remember
being
like
able to
just
see
seeing
things,
random things like that.
all sorts of things,
Like, they're not necessarily would be scary things, but
Yeah.
they'd just be things.
and not like not like bright lit up things, but like you just tell like something was there and it'd be constantly moving and flowing and
yeah.
okay,
But
yeah.
I still get stuff like that when I like close my eyes sometimes.
Really?
I'll get such like intricate like pictures and designs and stuff like I wish I could find a way, like I wish I had a shred of artistic ability in me where I could like close my eyes and just if I wish I could translate these things out of my head onto paper so I could explain it better to other people, but
Yeah,
there's times I'll just close my
psychedelics.
eyes and just crazy intricate stuff I'll see it.
Have you done psychedelics?
Never.
But
You should.
so you know what I'm saying though is like when you
That
were a
will
kid.
connect like I don't know, make it.
But when you were a kid,
Like
though, do you
making-
remember that though? Like, do you know what I'm talking about when you close your eyes and it's pitch black,
Absolutely.
and there's also
Geometric,
yeah,
like-
and even if your room is pitch black, you could have your eyes open and you're seeing that stuff, right?
Yeah, it'd be like a kaleidoscope.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd
Good
be
way
a
to
good
describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
I do
doesn't.
remember that. Like I didn't.
I don't
And then
get-
you mentioned it. I was like, yeah, I do kind of remember that as a kid.
Yeah, and it doesn't do that very much anymore now, right?
I'm gonna
So
try
it's
it tonight.
something with like it's controlled by your mind, your thoughts. So it's
Well,
like.
I sleep pitch black now, so yeah.
But when
guess
you're a
it's-
kid, though, you're still like
Your
everything's
imagination's
unknown.
still-
Yeah, you don't really know how the world works, and not like we really know either,
but
But
you don't have that adult.
we have the familiarity
experience.
with things where we know we're gonna go to bed, we're gonna wake up in the morning, blah blah, and you're not laying there in bed like with this palette or whatever you want to call it, or this canvas of imagination, Because I can see.
That's a good way of putting it. I
Yeah.
like that palette or canvas of imagination.
So another thing that freaked me out when I was a little kid, I think it was an episode of The Twilight Zone that my parents were watching. Like, this kid went to bed, or the parents made him go to bed, and like this old man would like appear and start talking to the kid and freaking him out, and the kid would then scream for his parents, and the old man would disappear. The parents would come, and there's nothing going on. And then as soon as they left, he'd come back. And and then eventually the parents, if I remember correctly, were starting to get angry at the kid, like, you're just imagining it. Stop, we're trying to have this party or whatever. I don't know what episode that was. If someone knows, put it in the comments. But I always remember thinking, like, what if that happens to me when I'm a kid? Like,
Sure.
what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so impressionable when you're a kid because it's like you haven't lived that long. So if you get an example of something, you think it's a representative
Right.
example.
Right.
Like de facto if you're young enough. Very powerful.
Crazy. All right. Well, we are actually kind of out of time.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it.
Ryan, what else you got for us? Anything?
Is this going to be on Apple Podcasts?
If you can help us figure that out, that would be great.
Look for us on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, we're gonna improve the sound at some point. I know something's not right.
It's good.
Yeah, it's okay, but we'll get it to that level.
This is okay.
Not it's.
We had
Have
a
you
good discussion
have you
tonight.
heard? Have you
That's
heard?
the most important part.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
This stuff will be able to fix. But have you heard it? Have you listened to a show at all or part of it?
Yeah, can't get enough.
I don't know. I'll go in and I'll like
All
it,
right.
and then I'll usually stop because I don't want to listen to myself on recording.
Have a good night, guys. I'm out.
KLXK would like to find out what Twin Cities children want for Christmas. We've set up the KLXK Classic Santa Wish Line for you to call 452-3287. 452-3287.